You're listening to Force Majeure, an actual play podcast that's usually Star Wars, but today we're doing something a little bit different. Namely, the Mecha Hack from Absolute Tabletop, a game about giant robots punching giant robots and giant monsters. For those of you who are joining us, having listened to our first episode, you'll be saying, but Adam, there have been no giant robots punching giant robots. You have missold this game to me. You are rubbish and smell of both poo and wee. And to you I say, well, buckle up, y'all, because we're about to get right into the heat of it. I am Adam, as you probably have gathered from me calling myself Adam, referring to myself in the third person. It's the second episode of a batch of recording. Things always start getting weird. I am joined around my virtual table by a bunch of new voices, and I'm going to ask them to introduce themselves and tell about who they are and who they're playing now.
Hi, I'm Riley, he, they. I will be playing Lucas, an engineer, he, him.
I'm ACJ, he, they, and I'll be playing Nox, who is she, they, the very angry mercenary.
I'm Sammy, pronouns are she, they, and I'm playing Faye, whose pronouns are they, them, and they are a Aeonic Primacy Bionic, now fighting for the Terrans.
Hi, I am Chris, or Blamed Cat. I am, see him, and I am playing Ruhk, who's also he, him. He is a disgruntled vet of the wars, formerly Neon Dominion, switched over to the Terrans.
Where we last left our heroes, they were engaged in a vital mission for the Terran Dominion to go behind Aeonic Primacy lines through a extremely potent energy shield, break out their mechs from the cargo ships where they had been stored, drop down behind enemy lines, take out a jamming tower so they could resume communications with their comptroller, and then take out the shield node, dropping the energy shield and allowing the Terran Dominion to come in and take control of this supply depot. And we open in the skies above Balamar 6. We see a huge, slow-moving cargo ship trundling along at the very edges of the atmosphere. Behind that, we can see the frontiers of this iridescent, pearlescent, soap bubble-esque energy dome. There are bay doors open on the bottom of this cargo ship, and plummeting down in freefall, approaching on their first target, we see our heroes' mechas for the first time. Who wants to go first? Give us the call sign of your mecha. Tell us what they look like.
So I'm piloting Barricade. So Faye's mech is one they brought over from their Aeonic Primacy days. So it looks kind of like a rhino beetle. It is iridescent silver white shell. But the thing that really stands out about their mech is the arms, which have both been replaced with something that is very obviously of Terran design, and they stand out against the sheer white of the shell as kind of blocky black, brown, and green arms.
Ruhk's mech, as it jumps out and it's in free fall, looks like it's a big, burly type mech. It looks very, from the Neo Dominion, he brought it with him. It's got almost like a knight's armor chassis kind of thing, is the way it kind of looks in silhouette. So like, a full plate knight type thing in that regard. And it has lots of etchings on it, which make it look more like actual knight armor, even though these are just, plates, just like everybody else's. Well, other than Lucas's mech. And it is green with gold trim. And I will say that a lot of the etchings seem to have been, how like when somebody gets a tattoo and then they get another tattoo on top of that tattoo to kind of like mask over the old one. It's a lot like that. Since he has switched allegiances, a lot of things have been almost overwritten, including on his shield. He has like the Terran symbol now as opposed to Neo Dominion. So he's fighting for the Terrans and is definitely proudly displaying that.
So at the end of the last episode, they mentioned a massive form that was being entered by a tiny pilot, and that would be Aerolide Void, which is a Colossus-style chassis that is essentially cobbled together cat construction machines with earth mover feet and two cranes coming off the back that are crisscrossed with movable hooks that are essentially special ability. And as it takes its time getting to the edge, it looks back at the tank that, blasted a hole in the wall and gives Lucas and Faye a thumbs up as it drops out and quickly but slowly falls because it's so big and immobile.
The final mech is we said the rhino beetle was kind of organic. This one is even more organic because it is actually a living kaiju. Razor is the name of the kaiju, and it resembles a gigantic werewolf with gray skin and blood red fur. There are bits and pieces of metal, attached to it. Faye is bionically augmented. This mech is bionically augmented with silver and copper and bronze and different wires and plates added onto it, including, the pilot seat just below its neck, where the newest member of the team sits. And he is screaming.
I said to breathe! Not exhale, breathe! We've got 10 seconds till we hit the ground. We're fine.
Lucas, your repulsor jets are working, right?
Has anybody got the slave controls just in case? Wait, Razor, you got this.
Razor's got this, even if Lucas doesn't.
Exactly. See, that's the thing that Ruhk always thinks about, is that Razor and Lucas are a team, and so he's always used to that. Because granted, the former pilot of Razor was a team, so...
I'll never get used to talking to a bot.
Wow, rude.
Yes.
But it's not a bot. It's more than a bot. See? It likes me.
You are plummeting down from the ship in freefall behind enemy lines. You can see below you your first target, the jamming tower. Fortunately, the point that you leapt out of the ship, you were close enough to it, or at least close enough to a jamming tower, and to be honest, once you've done one, you're probably alright. That's the main thing, to start getting signals back to Valkyrie and Terran Command.
Probably.
As you are falling, however, you can see, screaming in from the north, a wing of 3 interceptor fighter jets. These are extremely sleek. They are like flechettes punching through the sky towards you. They don't have big broad wings like you would expect from a traditional fighter jet. These things are held off the ground by speed and repulsors.
Oh, lovely. We got 3 darts incoming.
They are storming towards you. We will have 3 turns before you hit the ground for you to attempt to take these interceptors out, or for them to attempt to do similar to you. And so, for the first time in this game, we're going to go into initiative. This is either a systems or mobility test, your choice. If you succeed, you go before the enemy. If you fail, you go after.
I'm gonna do a system check.
Yeah.
Oh, with a 7. I would have succeeded on either one.
I'm doing system check as well. I gotta be a 13, and unfortunately I rolled a 17, so I'm going not first.
I just critical failed.
Oh! As in a nat 20?
Oh no.
And a nat 20, yep.
No, those dice really need to go to D&D. Just look, okay?
I'm so not used to wanting to roll low. I got sad when I saw the 7 for a sec.
I know!
I matched my system at 11.
So that's also a fail.
Oh, no.
Am I the only one who succeeded?
Yep.
Hey, you know what?
Razor knows.
Razor. Razor knows. Razor's got this.
Razor's got this.
Okay. These ships are screaming in, and clearly there is still, perhaps, there's still a bit of disorientation going from the deep darkness of the cargo ship to the suddenly glaring sunlight as you're dropping down. And Faye, unfortunately, your mind clearly still has a bit of a tether to Faye.exe. And the shock as that connection severs as you drop out of range, it judders through you and causes you to lose brief control of Barricade just for a second. But a second is all we need, because even before Razor and Lucas can re-establish their bond and take control, the initial long-range missile battery that fire from these interceptors whistle past, and crash against you. And because you critically failed, I'm not even going to roll to see if they hit you. They just hit you on the way down for 4 points of damage as these Heatseeker missiles whistle around. Clearly, these missiles, they are very sophisticated, and it's possible that what they locked onto was that final connection from you to Fade.exe, because you do see a few of them rocket upwards into the open cargo bays as well, but more of them impact upon you and your armour as you're dropping.
Oh gosh.
These enemies are starting at a far distance from you. So how the range bands work is you have close, which is melee, you have near, you have far, and then you have distant. Ranged weapons can be used at any distance. Melee weapons can only be used at close. But if you're firing your ranged weapons at either close or distant, you roll at disadvantage because they're either very close to you and in your face, or they're far enough away that it's a hard shot to make. These are far, so there is no penalties to try and take them down, and they're whistling in. Lucas, Razor, you're up first. What do you do?
Alright. I'm gonna use my beam cannon. So, I guess the mech reaches up over its shoulders and pulls out a giant gun. I think it looks like a bazooka. Boom! So that's a heavy ranged weapon, plus 2 attack and damage. It's a power test, so I want to roll below 15. Is that how it works?
Yeah, so you want to roll below your power. Because it's a heavy weapon, you add 2 to whatever you roll on the dice to make it harder to hit. But if you do hit, you add 2 to whatever damage you roll as well. It's high risk, high reward.
Here we go, let's attack. That is a natural 1.
Whoa! Critical hit! Wow. So, I'm not even going to have you roll damage. You take out one of these interceptors straight away. And I want you to describe what that looks like, and also tell me what you want as your little cherry on the top for that critical hit.
The bazooka beam flies into it and it explodes and maybe produces some sort of obscuring effect that makes it harder for the other guys to target my friends.
Yeah, no, that works perfectly. Effectively, whoever this is going to target next, I'm going to dice off for this. Because I don't roll except for damage, as a GM in the Mecha Hack system, it's all player-facing rolls. When you roll your mobility to get out of the way, you can roll at advantage. And the first one is going to take a pot shot at Sammy. The second one is going to take a pot shot at AC. So these 2 surviving interceptors break around the one in the middle that your beam cannon took out, regain their attack patterns, and start firing towards you with their close range machine guns. So AC, Sammy, I need mobility test from you at advantage.
Ooh, that's a 2.
Nice. I got a 7 on 8.
just in the case of Barricade, perhaps the explosions from the first round of missiles basically blew you out of the way of this machine gun fire and kept you safe. In the case of Arrowlight Void, I imagine that some of these perhaps just chip your paint on the way down, because that was a close one. But yeah, you just about managed to escape unscathed. Now it's back onto you as players. Anyone but Riley to go in whatever order you choose.
They're at far distance still, correct?
They are at far, but they effectively swept past you. These things are so quick, they effectively can move 3 range bands in a turn. So they moved in, fired, and then moved back out, so they're now far on the other side of you. It makes no odds in terms of your attack roll, but that's what they're doing. They're swooping past and strafing you.
Is there no, method for reaction attacks then?
No.
Okay, sounds good.
There is if they are in melee with you. If they start in close range and move out, then yeah, but with these things, it's one of their mechanics. They're very fast.
We essentially got drive-by. Got it. Okay. So, at that case, Arrowlight, does a quick little tuck roll and gets their paint scorched, but pulls out a similar bazooka-esque thing as another beam cannon. This one painted bright yellow and has angry eyes drawn on the side as well, and takes a shot at one of those things. So +2 attack and damage, rolling to beat a 17. Ooh, and I rolled a 9, so I definitely hit one.
Nice.
I roll my damage die, correct? I got a 6 on my 6.
Nice.
That is just enough to take out one of these interceptors that you're firing at. What does that look like then? Well, I suppose you've just described it. Ignore me.
Well, yeah, quick cool tuck and roll. It produces a giant yellow tube and sends a shot straight through where the pilot would sit if this thing had a pilot.
And it breaks apart in the air. Next player to go.
Sammy, you wanna go and get some retribution here? Or?
Yeah, I have a plan.
Okay.
And an axe.
But it's long range.
Yep, my module is booster sprint, which lets me move twice with one move action. So activate yield thrusters and boost after these idiots. Show them how it's done.
Yeah, you can catch up using that.
And just roll my my attack, I guess, and see how that goes. Oh, thank God. Only just. I do have to roll my reactor die. Oh, that's bad.
What did you... What?
What did you do, Ray?
I rolled a 1 on my reactor die, so it goes down from a d6 to a d4 now.
It does,
Ouch!
But it's fine,
Is it?
because I do max damage with my axe, and that's an 8.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
So the way this looks is basically the thing just like zips past and just kind of shifting their weight around the mech. They turn in the air and just kind of hit what is functionally the NOS button and just boost after them and just cut them clean in half with the axe, assuming that's enough damage to take them out.
Oh, yes, yeah. They are fragile. They're just very fast. As that interceptor bursts apart beneath your axe, and you all continue to fall, I'm not dropping out of initiative just yet, because zooming in from the east, over the jamming tower and towards you, there is another wing of 3 of them that are catching up. They are currently distant range, and Chris, you still have an action.
What is distant range compared to the other ranges? Like, really far away?
It's the furthest away, and you'll be at disadvantage to attack unless you use your move action. Unless you use a move action to basically boost in a similar way to what Barricade did, just not quite as far.
Okay.
Ah, great. Look, we got 3 more. Wonderful. Of course things are not gonna go that smooth. Of course, you know what? Never mind. I got this. Just hang on.
So he's going to boost towards them. Obviously can't go near as far. He's a striker, so it's still pretty mobile. Do I need to make a check for that part, or do I just do the thing?
You just do the thing.
Okay, so the thing that I'm going to do is Missile Barrage. He's tired of this. He just wants to get these things taken care of. Don't want them to hurt his people anymore. This is a module that's in set up in his mech that basically pops out these little mini missiles on his shoulders and releases 4 of them. They just shoot off. As an attack action, test power. If you succeed, deal 4d4 damage. Divide as you choose between enemies. So he's going to target 2 of them. They're at near or far range, so obviously mobility got him within far range. So, and then he'll roll his reactor die after that.
Yep.
All right, so first things first, test power. I've got a power 16. I got to roll less than that.
Yep.
And that is a 7. So that hits.
Does the job.
And then it's 4d4. I only have 1 d4. I'll just roll all of them. So I'm going to target 1 with 2 d4s and then another one with 2 d4.
Well,
since
what I'll let you do instead is if you roll your overall pool of damage,
okay,
and then you can split that pool of damage as you like, effectively.
Okay.
So each interceptor has 6 hit points.
Okay.
So you could take out 2 and damage a third if you roll really well, rather than kind of going, I've only done 2 to that one and 1 to that one. I'll let you go, actually, I'm going to put 6 of my pool into this one and take it out entirely.
Okay.
Because it's cooler.
Let's see what we got here. So we got a 2. That's a 4, so that's 6 right there. There's 1 for 7. And then another 4. So that's 11. 11 damage total. So I don't take out 2 of them, but I can take out 1 for sure and heavily damage a third one. Or a second one.
Yep, you could do that, or you can take out 1 and then split the rest, like 3
Let's
on 1.
do that.
3 on the other.
Yeah, let's take out 1 with 6. That leaves 5 left? No, 4.
Yeah,
Sorry, my
5
brain
left.
is not working. 5 left. So then we'll take, we'll hit 1 for 3 and 1 for 2.
Yep.
So, yeah, so these rockets just fire off like mini rockets, just like that, and then connect to one, big explosion, and then the others, hit them in the middle of the shrapnel there.
And we go round to the top again. Riley.
I think I'll...
Oh, I need to roll my reactor die. I
Reactor, yes.
apologize.
Roll your reactor die. Sorry, yes, you do.
Sorry, totally forgot about that.
It's all right.
It is a 6.
So yeah, you're fine.
I'm good.
Okay. So I have to move so I'm within far range. So that's the first thing. Razor activates its booster jets and they move closer. And then the bazooka cannon shoots again. That is a failure. That is a 15, which is not under 13.
So yeah, again, I suspect that the barrage of missiles that went in as these interceptors have taken defensive, maneuvers to try and get out of the way, they have just managed to get out of the way of your huge blast of energy. Just kind of scorches some of the paintwork on one of them, but they managed to evade it. It is now the enemy's turn, and I think the two remaining, one is going to target Razor, and one is going to target Iron Decimus.
Ah, yes, that is my call sign.
It is, in vengeance for blowing up their colleagues. Can you two please make me mobility tests?
Mobility, my nemesis. Well, actually, it's not near as bad as my presence.
I feel like we all jumped mobility this time.
Yes. I got a 6, which is under 9.
I did not. I got a 17, and I was supposed to get a 12. I'll take it to the face.
Yeah, because they're still at a reasonable distance, as they're moving in, they don't just reciprocate with machine gun fire. They reciprocate with heat-seeking missiles. Razor just manages to jink out of the way of them, contorting in a weirdly organic, I kind of imagine almost gymnast way.
Yes.
So they just passed Razor and hit me instead. That makes sense. Okay.
For, I'm afraid, 6 points of damage.
Oh, holy. That's half my health. Okay. Awesome. Great.
Goes to your armor first.
Yeah, you can choose to take it off your armor first if you want.
Oh, shit.
It's a lot easier to get armor back.
Yeah, I probably should do that. So, all of my armor? Oh, that's gonna be painful. Can I split it, or do I just eat it?
It's completely up to you. You can choose to take it all on armor, you can choose to take half and half.
You have run this game enough. I've never run this game. Is it safe to just take all of it, or should I balance it?
Armor is a lot easier to get back, I will say that.
I can help restore your HP, so that is something to keep in mind.
So after every fight, as long as you can get like 5 minutes to repair, you can get all of your armor back. HP you can only really get back once, apart from Lucas welding you back together.
Got you. Okay. Then I'm gonna take, because I'm stubborn, gonna take all of that to the armor and then 1 from my hit points. So literally, it's like bringing the shield up, and the shield takes like all the brunt, and he's still getting rocked.
Slag, you just got... Somebody take that one out.
You got it, old man.
It is player actions, and it's anybody but Riley to go. This is the second half of the initiative turn.
Well, with that statement, I guess Arlette will just try to maneuver themselves closer to the enemies in so much as using their move action to get closer and then take another beam cannon shot.
Yep, these things are near distance because they've also moved in, so there's no penalties to shoot at all. In fact, if you want to spend a move action, you can get to close and hit them with your melee weapon if you'd rather do that, or you can kind of just maneuver to the other side of them and stay at near range.
If they're actually in near range, I want to try to do cool things. So I'm going to use my actual grappler ability this time.
Cool.
So going to test power, which is 17. Oh, and I critically succeed.
Ooh.
On grappling one of these boys.
Mm-hmm.
So with that cherry on top, instead of having to roll since one of these was already damaged, can I just crush it to death in my big strong arms?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so I'm gonna describe that then. So Nox sees Ruhk take a massive amount of damage and uncharacteristically shouts in a worried message. He's like,
Boss, you okay?
Yep, alive.
Good.
Can't kill me that easy.
I'll take care of that one.
does a cool tuck roll, having their cranes come forward on their shoulders, and then the claws jettison off. And they reach forward, grab one of those out of the air, ties it up, brings it back in, and she just takes her arms and crushes this thing to her chest. Let me roll my reactor die to see if something happens.
As a further cherry, you don't need to roll your reactor die.
Oh, but can I but not take any problems if I do, because I have a thing that might happen if I do succeed on a roll.
Oh, yeah, of course you do. Yes, then, yeah, in which case, roll your reactor die to see if that triggers. You will not downgrade, though, if you roll a 1 or a 2.
Okay, I rolled a 3, so my fun thing doesn't happen, and hopefully that'll do it later, so we can cut all that. So I roll a 3 on my reactor die, I crush this thing, and I give another thumbs up to Ruhk.
It was good. Good job. Good job.
Look over at Faye.
Your turn.
Yep. Beck gives a big thumbs up and really running my reactor to the edge. I remember to read my abilities, and I have a thing where I can charge at a near enemy and then immediately attack. So I'm going to do that. Ooh. That's a 6 on the die. So activating the thrusters once again, Faye charges at the last one and just cuts that one in half too, and does 7 damage.
Yep,
Nice.
that takes it out.
But also now I have to roll my very tiny reactor die.
I was going to say, you have 2 actions. This is the last one, so if you want to have just moved in and then attacked without using that ability and risking your reactor die, I'm happy for that to be your turn.
I would love to do that.
Yeah, that's fine. So, okay, describe what it looks like as you take out the last of the interceptor wing.
What wings? Yeah, so thrusters charges over and just kind of quick 2-cut with the axe, take the wings off and just let the body of it fall.
Yep. There are no more interceptors incoming, and you spiral down towards your target zone, which is the outskirts of what was clearly a settlement of some point. The Primacy have levelled most of the buildings, though 2 shells still remain that were just a bit too large to be flattened. The jamming tower is at the top of a hill, and there are fortifications in front of it. Behind those fortifications, you can see 3 Aeonic Primacy mechs hunkered down. These are very much the bottom of the line Primacy mechs. These are as mass-produced as they get. They are oddly willowy and graceful humanoid figures, but the proportions are all wrong.
Mm-hmm.
They are carrying shields, but again, the shields are peculiar in form. They have lots of angles and like protruding sections that have clearly been calculated for optimum deflection, as opposed to a good old-fashioned proper shield, which is just a big thick thing that you hide behind.
Like mine.
Yeah. That's in their left hands. The right hands of each of these mechs are great big fists surrounded by an arc of machine gun barrels leading into a feed into that's kind of locked on their right shoulder, like a big old hopper that's coming through.
That's really cool.
They're hunkered down. Mm-hmm. The jamming tower itself is pyramidal in shape. It's on a heavily reinforced concrete building with like 3 kind of tiered sections to it, and then the tower itself is sticking out of this top section and is protected by plates that kind of have, as they've seen you coming down, have popped up in front of it as kind of deflection baffles. Now, we are going to be using a map for this, but I'll try and keep it descriptive for our listeners. But if you can see on the map where my little glowing wiggle is, you can drop your mecha anywhere you want within that kind of, effectively this section of the map, this lowest part of the hill. For reference, from this lowest part of the hill, the top of the tower is effectively distant because it's quite high. This first rank here is far. As I say, you can see these 4 mechs, 3 of them behind barricades up at the top, 1 of them, which you could only see because you're dropping down from on high yourself, is currently sheltering in the ruins of the eastern wreckage of the building. It's going to be a fresh initiative test, please.
I have a plan.
Yay.
On the way down, can I do the boost sprint again and land on this mech?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely you can.
Right, that's another reactor die. Oh, this is gonna be great.
Did you just roll another 1?
I did.
Oh.
So
Okay. Well, we'll describe what that looks like when everyone's done their initiative test, I think.
yeah, so the initiative test was good. I did pass that.
I got a 2.
It's a 13, and I have 13 for system. So hey, look what happened again.
I didn't save, but I didn't beef.
Okay. So we will be having, it'll be Razor then Barricade, then the 4 Mecha, and then Aralide Void and Iron Decimus at the end of it then. So, what happens, I'm afraid, to Barricade is as you activate your jump jets and boost into position to land on this mech, your reactor overheats and you just plummet.
Oh no.
And crash land face down in the dirt in front of this mecha, who leaps backwards and is like, ah! and then kind of raises their fist.
All according to plan.
Because you've overheated, you miss this first turn, effectively.
Oh, we can't see you either because you're behind all that mess. Save face. You're like a cat. You just I meant to do that. I meant to do that.
Yep, this is exactly what I planned for.
You will be missing your turn, unfortunately, as your mecha frantically dumps heat, and you're at disadvantage to all tests.
Yeah, I'm still trying to work out the power balance between the Primacy chassis and the Terran arms.
Clearly. Razor.
Razor is going to go defend their ally. Razor and Lucas kind of share a emotional moment, and then the two of them are like, it's Faye. Let's go save Faye and Barricade. So, use my movement action to go near them and barricade. And so the bazooka has been put away. Now this lumberjack werewolf is going to pull out a giant axe and attack the recruit.
Yep. Make me your power test.
Yes, let's go. Power test, please roll below my number. That's a 19.
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
I attacked the ground.
Move out of the way, probably.
Yeah, off to a great start.
And I'm afraid it is the mecha's turns.
Oh no.
So we're going to start with the one that is currently surrounded by Barricade and Razor. Now, luckily, because you did run in, this primacy is having to determine between a currently disabled threat and an active, gigantic, building-sized werewolf in their face. And unsurprisingly, their threat detection algorithms pick the werewolf. It swings its shield, it kind of up, puts its machine gun hand behind the shield, and then uses it almost like a piston to try to bash into you and throw you away. Can you please make me a mobility test to dodge?
That's a 2!
Woo! Good job.
Yeah. It is clearly, its algorithms in there, because these are sufficiently low end that they are purely computer controlled. There's none of that inherent pilot decision making in here.
Except for that.
Except for the
Razor is just too, gymnast. And just like a boxer. Just pops right back up.
Recruit 4, which is the next closest, is going to attempt to backshoot you, though, as you are right there in their line of fire. So if you could please make me a second mobility test as they unload their machine gun arms at you.
That's a 6, which is under my mobility.
So again, there's just this ballet of Razor's natural instincts kicking in as it's dodging and ducking the blast, the machine gun fire coming at it, which spatters across the walls. Recruit 2, the middlemost of these enemy mechs, which is at the very end of its range, will draw a bead on Iron Decimus and start to unload again a volley of machine gun fire. Chris, can you please make me a mobility test to dodge?
Sure, I can do that. Hey, maybe I'll get lucky. Okay, mobility is 12. Let's see. Hey, I got lucky. That's a 5.
Okay.
Nice.
And again, you manage to dodge out of the way as these volley fire comes. The final mecha that you can see is out of range for their machine guns, but at the same token, they're currently in cover and don't want to leave that and run across the battlefield and expose themselves to fire, so they're going to hunker down for the moment. And then, your TAC computers suddenly pick up 2 more pings as 2 mecha, one on the building directly above Barricade and Razor, one in front of the comms tower, suddenly uncloak. There is a Predator-esque shimmer as their stealth fields drop just for a second. These things are long and spindly and are carrying scaled-up sniper rifles.
We've got 2 snipers!
They both take aim on Arrowlied Void being the biggest and most intimidating looking mech on the field. Can you please make me 2 mobility tests, AC?
2?
Yep, 1 for each.
All right. I am very bright yellow. And my point is to actually take the hits, so this is okay.
Oh yeah, you're built for this stuff.
I succeed on 1 and I fail on 1.
So they did the whole somebody fired and led and the other one, yeah.
One of the shots whistles past you. That is the shot from the one on the building. Clearly, they have slightly had their aim thrown out by everything going on. However, the one that is in front of the jamming tower has more time. They draw their bead, and that is 8 points of damage as a hyper-focused... The beam of energy they shoot out seems to grow in intensity like the further away you are. So it starts off as quite a thin beam, and it gathers almost weight as it travels until at the point it hits you, it is carrying so much more force than it was than when it first shot. Clearly, the further away these things are from you, the more deadly they are.
Lovely. Player turns now, yeah?
Oh yeah, so it's Chris and AC, whichever order you prefer.
We can't. I mean, we can just hang back and let you guys just, deal with everything. It's fine,
Boss, that's not my style.
And so with that, Arrowlied moves into an attempt to get to near with... not near. Range bands suck. The middle
You
one.
can get to within just about near range.
Okay, cool. Near is where I want to be. And then I'm going to take my use action to enter garrison mode. I reduce incoming damage to me by 4, and I add 1d4 to all of my damage rolls.
Nice.
I rolled my reactor die on that, rolling a d6. I rolled a 3, we're good. So I can't do 2 use actions unless I roll reactor die again, correct?
Well, you only have 2 actions, so you've done a
move
move,
in.
you've done a...
Okay, cool. So I go in there and I make myself look even more into... Okay, I'll do it in media. After taking a hit, Arrowlied Void is piloted closer to everyone and makes himself look much bigger and more intimidating, kind of all of their plates interlocking and growing even more, and they look like a wall, and they are attempting to take all the hits now.
Move around me, hide behind me, get him close to me.
And then looks over to Decimus.
Affirmative.
And, he's going to kick on his boots and basically pop up behind you. Like, literally just going to shadow you because this is what we do.
Mm-hmm.
And then take aim at Recruit 4, it looks like, I think. Or, can I hit? They got light range weapons, so how can I actually get the sniper on the top or no?
You can, yeah, they are in range.
So they are in range. Okay.
They are in range, yeah.
So even if they're a sniper up on a building, they are in range of our light range weapons. Okay,
Yes,
cool.
they are, yeah.
Okay, awesome. Well then, yeah, I'm going to try to take out that far sniper on the jamming tower. Because I figure, hey, the other two, they've got the one on the other building. They're fine. So that's a power test just for the...
Yep, just a flat power test.
Okay, cool. I got to beat a 16. And I rolled a 16, of course. Why? Yeah. Okay, yeah.
Great episode, everyone.
Yeah.
It's going to be a short story.
And it's just chipping up the building, but it's not quite. Yeah, it's a machine gun. It's not, just for flavor's sake, if we want to discuss where this machine gun is, it's not like he dropped his Warhammer on his mech. It's actually part of the shield.
Nice.
So the shield, pops open like some panels pop out, and then the basically rounds fire from the shield that he's holding.
That's really cool. I like that. We are back to the top. Razor and Barricade. Your Barricade has finished emergency venting, and suddenly they are still in the orange in terms of power consumption, but you have control again, Sammy.
Yeah, so lift myself out of the dirt and shake off, all according to plan. And I just whip my axe around and try to hit Recruit 3.
Yep. So again, it's a power test.
She's way too small a dice. Only just.
Good enough is good enough.
Yeah, so that's 4 damage.
That is just enough. These things are dangerous but fairly fragile. As you smash this mecha into powder, we're replacing it with a wreckage token, which can be used to hide behind, can be picked up and thrown, can later be salvaged for scrap. This is a defunct mecha. What does it look like?
Yeah, so it doesn't start with a swing. He's kind of hooks the axe behind one of the mech's legs and just kind of pulls it out to get it trip on the ground, and just kind of flourishes the axe around and just kind of downward slam right onto the chassis.
I kind of almost see it that, like, as you're standing up, you pull it back down and use it toppling as leverage to get up, and then...
Yep, exactly.
So yeah, that one has been destroyed. Razor.
Razor crouches down and then leaps up onto the building and starts climbing it to reach the sniper.
It will only take you your move action to get up there, and you can get up there in melee range on the top of the building where this sniper is frantically trying to reactivate its camo and its stealth field, but not quick enough.
Both axe and bazooka are like holstered on its back, so Razor pulls out the axe and attempts to hit it. Let's see if I roll good. That is an 8 plus 2, which is 10, but it's still below my power, so we're good. I get to roll my damage dice for the first time.
Woo!
It's the first time I hit, I got a critical, so I didn't have to roll damage. Here goes. That is a 4.
Nice.
Including the +2 for the heavy weapon.
Plus 2, so that's 6 damage. So yes, we both hack.
That is enough. These things are tougher than the standard mecha, but they're not that tough.
I think it is bisected at the waist, and half of it falls off of the tower.
Nice. Just hopefully not on barricade.
No, it lands on top of the other mech.
Crunch.
It would have been better if this happened before the other one died and did extra damage.
Yeah, as we just have 2 lots of wreckage that have toppled down and are effectively blocking barricade from view. Between the 2 of them, you will count as having cover for any more fire coming your way, Sammy, which means you roll mobility at advantage.
Ooh, I do like that.
Nice. I guess Razor is just kind of...
Triumphant on top of the building.
Raises the leg up, bottom half.
It is the enemy's turn, and the other sniper is going to go first, and the other sniper now has a direct line of fire towards Razor. Can you please make me a mobility test?
Oh dear.
Oh no.
I rolled a 19.
Oh.
The only saving grace is that you are too close for them to get the extra bonus damage they get from taking long distance shots.
Oh.
That is 3 points of damage as this sniper round slams into you from behind as Razor is being triumphant. Recruit 4, the closest mecha to where you are hunkered down, is going to unload at Arrowlight Void. That is what you've done. You've made yourself a big scary target, and it's going to attempt to do its best for that one for you. Can you please make me a mobility test?
I rolled a 6 on 8.
Wow. So yeah. It's... This mecha clearly went to the Imperial Stormtrooper School of Shooting, as it literally cannot hit a barn door. I kind of see that, and I also kind of see that some of it does hit, but you've put up so much extra deflective armour as you've entered garrison mode that it's just bouncing off, like chipping the paint a little bit, but just pea shooters. The second close-in mech is going to do similar. Again, it can't quite get a line on Iron Decimus, it doesn't want to leave cover, and again, you are presenting a wonderful target. Can you please make me a second mobility test as it tries to shoot past you?
No, because I take damage this time.
Oh no.
And I roll my 1d4 to reduce, and I reduce it by 3.
And I rolled a 2 to damage you, so it doesn't damage you at all.
Nothing.
Mode.
Love it.
The remaining mecha, its algorithms have clearly seen what's going on here. And this time it is going to try and break cover, because it has seen how ineffective its comrades have been, and it's going to take 2 move actions and run behind the shattered shell of the building to the south of you.
Oh.
Clearly trying to get behind you and take Iron Decimus in the back. Chris and AC.
You know the drill, follow me.
And Arrowlight just repositions to get closer to Recruit 1 and kind of in between all of this.
Oh, can you do that in garrison mode? Sweet.
Yeah, I can still move. It's not the one that takes my movement away.
It doesn't lock you. Okay, it's not like siege mode. Got it. Okay.
Mm-hmm. And so they're still within... Because we're in close now, correct? Unless I get right up on them?
You're in near. Closest melee range, they're in near.
Okay, cool. So I move to where I am, obviously, and expecting Decimus to follow behind, I use grapple to pull them from close to near.
Lovely.
over here.
All right, use action. Power. Oh yeah, that's a 2. Almost crit again. And then I have moved and I have used. So now I'm like waving Iron Decimus behind me and I'm like, finish it off.
Doesn't your grapple also do damage? It does D4 damage.
It does.
Oh, sweet.
Even better.
Even better. So 1d4. Just 2 damage on it. I latch into it and I rip off a plate with one and then the other one drags it into me.
Oh, yeah.
That is not quite enough to destroy it.
I'm going to roll my reactor die for it.
It is a reactor die, yes.
And I rolled a crit. That's a 6, right?
Yep.
Sweet. So that means I get to use my actual cool ability, which is Kinetic Reactor. If I roll a maximum result on a reactor die roll, I can choose to roll my damage die and deal that damage to a closer near enemy.
Do it.
So I do an additional 4 damage to it, so a total of 6 damage to it.
That takes it out. Come on. What does that look like?
All right, so I leave Iron Decimus in the dirt. I run over slowly, and one of my grapples lashes out, grabs a plate off their chest for that 2 damage, doesn't pull it. Mech staggers slightly. I grab it with the other one, pull it into me, and as my reactor starts to hyperload, I just essentially step on it, and like there's like a rumbling as I step to, and it just shakes this thing to pieces and crunches it under my giant earth mover foot.
Nice. Love it. Absolutely love it.
Way to show off, Nox.
Hey, get over here and get the other 2.
I'm working on it. I'm working on airline. Okay.
Steps over what's left of the thing.
All right.
And then still going to try to get that sniper up there at the top, because that's just a problem for everyone. So, here we go again. It'll be more of the machine gun. That's power test. Let's get that first. Hey, I hit. That's an 8. Excellent. And then damage is the damage. Well, all mine are D8s, so that doesn't matter. I'll just roll it. That is 1. Hey, it's 1 damage. Yay.
Alas, like these things aren't the toughest enemy you'll ever face, but they are tougher than that.
At least I'm hitting it now.
Well, I finally got my targeting working.
You sure being holed up in that box didn't hurt you, old man?
Look, you know I'm better if I just get up in somebody's face, but I can't exactly get over there right now. And I'm not that old.
Back to the top, either Razor or Barricade.
I'd like to target the sniper. So Razor is like very angry. So Razor's gonna turn, look at the sniper, and I'm gonna use my chassis ability, which is to test presence.
Oh, yes!
That's 4! I deal my damage die to a single enemy within far range, so let's please. That was a 7! Razor just like. And then like a beam of energy just like explodes out of its mouth and just like slams into the sniper. Now I have to roll my reactor dice. 1!
Oh no!
Uh-oh.
Your reactor dice downgrades from the force of this, but the blast smashes this sniper into fragments. And imagine, in fact, it hits with such intensity that there isn't really much left of the sniper. It's just melted metal plastered up the side of this jamming tower. And it started to loosen some of the shields around the jamming tower, the physical shields, as this beam of energy has just punched into it.
Ruhk just looks over to Ira like,
See, Razor's got this.
At least one of us does.
Oh.
Sammy.
As much as I love to push my reactor even harder, I'm gonna move just as far as I can get with one move, and I just use gun.
Yes. I cast gun.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, that's a hit. And
Yep, and at the angle you're firing at, they have no cover.
ooh, hell
Because
yeah!
Kind of come up behind them.
All according to plan.
Is that your catchphrase?
It is, yeah. 6 damage.
That is enough to take it out.
Heck yeah. And this time I don't need to roll my reactor die. I will not catch on fire this time. That's my stated goal for the game.
It is the remaining recruit, which, you know, these things are algorithmically programmed. They do not know fear. They only know vengeance and combat. And it is going to charge at Barricade, Sammy. I think it's going to run at you because The other mechs are still behind cover. It launched itself towards you, bringing its machine gun fist back in a great swipe. Can you please make me a mobility test?
Absolutely. Nope.
I'm afraid that's 6 damage. That's max damage. As it slams its fist, it skids in, uppercuts Barricade, and as it lifts you off with the force of the uppercut, it triggers its ring of machine guns around its arm and just kind of punches you up in the air off your feet and sends you staggering backwards. Arrowlight Void and Iron Decimus.
Arrowlight, what are you doing? Oh, you know what I'm doing.
Looking around, seeing that there's only one recruit left, I figure that it can be handled. So Arrowlight is going to go smash the tower.
I would like 2 power tests from you. One, which is one is either power or mobility, and it represents you actually being able to get up there because you're having to leap over barricades and then climb up the side of the building. It's not just a straight run. And unlike Razor, who has the benefits of, giant claws and was right at the base of a shattered building, there were windows that it could grab on and run up to. Arrowlight doesn't have the same.
15 on 17 power for the first.
Yep. So yeah, you power your way up the building. There's nothing graceful about this. It's just great big pneumatic leaps and kind of punching holes in the building to drag yourself up. And then I would like, depending on how you want to disable the jamming tower, either power or systems.
I only know power, so... That is a 5 on 17.
Describe what it looks like as you not only take out the jamming tower, but in doing so, cut off the command control program to the remaining recruit.
So at the base of those towers, what actually happens is I launch my grapples up the side and kind of use them as a rappelling to slam my feet into the wall and just kind of walk up the side, as it were. Shaking with every step, it like kind of loosens all the nuts and bolts on the bottom of this tower. And then as I breach the top, I just run up and essentially hug it to death. I crunch it down and just rip it out of its socket on the top of this tower and kind of throw it towards the recruit to be like, now what?
And I think as you crush the tower down, the command programs to this recruit turn off. It stands slack for a second over barricade before the hurled tower like a spear slams into it and breaks it down to the ground, where it just lies unmoving.
All according to plan, right, gang?
All according to plan.
On your heads-up displays within your mechas, suddenly, boop, 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 you have signal. As with this jamming tower down, you manage to reconnect to Valkyrie and your tactical command. I think as that reconnects and you're suddenly once again able to talk to home base, that is where I'm ending the episode.
Sounds good.
Thank you very much, as always, to my players. Thank you to my listeners. We hope you agree that this episode did indeed have more giant robots punching giant robot action, and we'll hope you'll stick around for the next one. Look after yourselves, my loves. Remain delightful, and we will see you next time. Force Majeure is played using the Star Wars Force and Destiny game system by Edge Studios. Our intro music is by the amazing Sly Fox Audio. Check out more of her work at soundcloud.com/SlyFoxAudio. Our outro music is Suburban Outlaw instrumental version by Forget the Whale, used with gratitude under a Creative Commons license. Many of these sound effects and soundscapes are created using Sirenscape, because epic games need epic sounds. If you're enjoying the show and want to support us, there's 3 ways you can do that. The first is by joining our Patreon at patreon.com/forcemajeurepod, where for as little as $1 a month you get access to outtakes, adverts, various other stuff, and my fortnightly ramblings. You can drop us a coffee at ko-fi.com/forcemajeurepod, or you can leave us a rating and review wherever you get your podcasts. If you want to interact with us, there's a few ways you can do that. We are on the social medias, Facebook, Instagram and Twitter as @ForceMajeurePod, and we're over on Mastodon as @ForceMajeurePod @dice.can. You can also join our Discord, link in the show notes. Thank you very much for listening and being with us as we tell these stories. We hope you are having fun, and we will see you next time.